Hey everyone, it's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to talk about stress and how it negatively affects your gut health. Stress can be a huge factor as to why your digestion feels off balance and may also help explain why you're experiencing unpleasant symptoms such as an upset stomach, reflux, gas, bloating, diarrhea, and constipation. It can alter your eating patterns and cause emotional eating or disordered eating. It can lead you to think that you have food sensitivities when you don't, and it can also alter the hormones that affect digestion as well as your mood. So there's a lot going on here, and to understand how all this happens, we need to first talk a bit about your nervous system. So let's get started. Your nervous system has multiple divisions and subdivisions, and the one that we are going to focus on in today's video is referred to as the autonomic nervous system. Now, the nerves here connect your central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord, to your visceral organs such as your heart, your stomach, and your intestines, and they mediate unconscious activities, meaning that they just happen without us thinking about them, like breathing, heart rate, and maintenance of body temperature. Now, the autonomic nervous system consists of the sympathetic nervous system, which triggers the fight or flight response, the parasympathetic nervous system, which triggers the rest and digest response, and the enteric nervous system, which helps regulate digestion. Now, when you sit down to eat your food, your body is going to be focused on digesting that food. So it will make sure that your digestive organs have a good blood supply to help with absorption of nutrients and elimination of waste products. And the nerves lining the digestive tract will signal peristalsis to occur, which is the involuntary constriction and relaxation of the muscle cells that are lining the digestive tract to create wave-like movements that will push the food contents forward. The nerves that are involved here stem from the enteric and parasympathetic nervous system. Now, let's say that you are feeling really stressed. Now, if you are stressed, then your body is going to perceive that stress as a potential danger to your survival and get your body ready to either fight or run away by communicating with your adrenal glands to secrete the hormones cortisol, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. This process is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, and digestion is not a function that your body is worried about when you are faced with a potential danger to your survival. So instead of ensuring proper blood supply to your digestive organs, your body is going to instead shunt some of that blood away to the organs that will either help you fight or run away, like your heart, your lungs, and your skeletal muscle. Now, this means that digestion will either slow down or be temporarily disrupted. And this is what can cause symptoms such as abdominal pain, reflux, indigestion, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and/or constipation. These survival mechanisms are great if you are dealing with an acute stressor like running away from a tiger or, from someone who's chasing you. But the majority of stress that causes our digestive issues these days is most likely not coming from those causes. Instead, they are most likely coming from the stress that we feel on a day-to-day basis, like being stuck in traffic, running late, work stress, family stress, financial stress, relationship stress, maybe public speaking if you have to do that quite a bit, or technology stress. I mean, the list can go on and on. And this kind of chronic stress not only affects your digestive system, but every other organ system in your body. And over time, it can lead to unhealthy levels of bad versus good bacteria in your gut. So that's going to be a problem for your gut microbiome and subsequently your mental health. It can harm the integrity of your gut lining, which is medically referred to as increased intestinal permeability, but most commonly known as leaky gut. It can aggravate pre-existing gastric ulcers or inflammatory bowel disease. It can trigger or worsen acid reflux, and it can even lead to changes in your eating patterns. You may lose your appetite and not feel like eating, or you may go in the opposite direction and start emotionally overeating. Most likely high-calorie foods like pizza or French fries, or foods that are high in sugar and or foods that are really crunchy like chips, because it's very satisfying to crunch on that. But these foods can be difficult to digest, especially if you're stressed, and will negatively influence the health of your gut microbiome, your overall body weight, and potentially your perception of your overall body image. Another interesting thing is that eating when stressed may make you think that you have food sensitivities to certain food products when really you just didn't digest them properly because you were feeling stressed when you ate them. Now, you very well may have sensitivities to certain food products. Many people do. Or maybe your doctor has told you of certain foods that you should stay away from, which, in that case, go ahead and adjust your diet accordingly. But I remember I was talking to a patient once who told me that she thought she was having issues eating gluten and dairy. She told me that she ate pizza and that her stomach hurt afterwards, but she was also really stressed out at the time that she ate it. And then a couple of weeks later, she told me that she tried to eat pizza again when she felt more relaxed and not quite so stressed out, and she didn't have any problems digesting it. So it turns out that she wasn't sensitive to those food products after all. So I thought that that was a pretty interesting story and worth mentioning in this video because it's a great reminder to be aware of your emotional state when you're eating. So now that I've explained how stress affects your gut health, I thought it was only fitting to mention some different ways that can help you to de-stress, feel calmer, more relaxed, and all around more joyful. So I thought of a bunch, so in order to not make this video too long, I am just going to briefly mention each one. So first off is laughing. A very common saying is that laughter is the best medicine. So watch a funny movie or video, maybe read a funny book, and if you can, surround yourself with people who can make you laugh. Next is take time out for yourself, so AKA self-care. This can be as simple as when you do your skincare routine for the day, or when you journal 5 minutes before you go to bed, or listen to a fun song when you're in the car or washing your dishes. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Next, manage time better and learn to say no. Your time is valuable, and a lot of stress can come from feeling like we just don't have enough time in the day to do what we need to do. So make sure that you use your time wisely. Another thing that you can do is be a part of a community in a healthy way. Now, this doesn't mean getting yourself into trouble or surrounding yourself with people who don't align with your values and morals. It just means that we are human and that it is really important to have a sense of community and belonging to something. So for you, this can mean like your family, or just joining a church if you're religious, joining a gym, or maybe some online Facebook groups. Essential oils can be really helpful for supporting you emotionally, and there are so many to help you feel more relaxed and to de-stress. If you have any questions about essential oils, then definitely comment them down below. And actually, I am thinking of making a whole video talking about my favorite oils that I use for this purpose. So that video should be coming very soon to my channel. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that. Next, watch how you talk to yourself and limiting beliefs. We can be so hard on ourselves and put a lot of pressure on ourselves and, put ourselves down. So just make sure that you are watching what thoughts that you think throughout your day. All right, my 7th tip here is to avoid the comparison trap. Another good saying is that comparison is the thief of joy. Ultimately, it just comes down to the fact that it is a complete waste of time to compare yourself to other people. It is very easy to do this though, and just part of human nature. And, we're all guilty of it, including myself. But when you catch yourself doing it, then go ahead and recognize that and try to stop that thinking pattern. Number 8 is to let go of perfectionism. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. It's something that we can strive for, but we'll never actually reach it. So work hard, try to do a good job, and definitely take pride in the work that you do. But remember that you are only human and just do what you can do. Tip number 9 is to become a better breather. So this sounds kind of strange, but stay with me. When we are stressed, our breaths are more shallow. And so sometimes we almost have to consciously think to ourselves in those moments to, take a, deep breath in and then hold it and take a deep breath out. And it can help you tremendously. Next tip is to exercise. This is great to help work out restless energy. Going outside into nature is another great tip. Talking to a close friend or family member or whoever you like to talk to and trust. Journaling and writing down what you feel grateful for is another great tip. This is good because it forces your mind to think of what you have instead of what you don't. Creative projects that you can take up, like cooking or painting or drawing. These are really good because they have you focus on what you're doing in the moment. And that can be really helpful to shift your thoughts from what's stressing you out to something that's more relaxing. And the last tip that I have in today's video is to find activities that don't overstimulate your mind. So when you are very stressed, it's very common for your mind to be quite active. So maybe put down your phone, step away from your computer, and do something that helps you quiet your mind and feel more grounded. So I mentioned quite a few ways to help you de-stress, and I did that because I think that it's really helpful to have a combination of tools that you can reach for or turn to when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So if one is not working, then you can try out another. Alrighty, so there you go. That is how stress negatively impacts your gut health, plus some helpful ways to de-stress. I hope that this video helps you understand the connection between the two. Now, if you feel comfortable doing so, then comment down below what you've been struggling with lately so that I and my other viewers can help support you as you navigate how to best manage your stress. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then definitely go ahead and do so for more health and wellness information and content. But otherwise, that's all I have for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!